Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Oh,
Jacques,
oh,
what is going on, folks? What's happening? Good morning, good evening, whatever time it is your way. Jacques, what's happening,
sure.
man? The live
Man,
chop up, all
man.
show, man. We're gonna talk about these coaches.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to everybody. We already got folks in the chat. Sherrod Butler, what's happening? Bethany Cheney, what is happening? Jay Burks, what is good? How y'all doing today? Jacques, bro. Hey man, season's over, man. We've been want to talk about these coaches, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a minute since we've done a live chop up. I think the last one we did, I did.
Yep.
Yep, it was the last one. Yep.
That's
So
right.
it's good. It's good to get back to the weekly family and
Yep.
the folks that kind of got us our start. So it feels good. But yeah, we're gonna definitely get into these 15,000 coaches we interviewing.
That's right, man. That's right. Shout out to Titan South in the comment section as well, too.
What
So
up,
listen,
Big
if you
Titan?
have not followed us here on YouTube, follow us now, Tennessee Titans Weekly, even on Apple and Spotify as well. Follow us there. We are the official Bleacher Report podcast for the Tennessee Titans. The season is over. So, we're going to be doing a lot more shows back on YouTube as well, too, like live shows and things like that. Team Leader 2010, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's happening? So, the Tennessee Titans. Stevie O.E. Gordy, what's happening? What's going down, man? What's happening? So, the Tennessee Titans are currently without a head coach. Mike McCoy had been the interim. I think Mike McCoy did a pretty decent job. Rough start, but I think towards the end of the season, he at least got the players playing very hard in those things. A very lack of talented team, but he was able to get the best, I think, out of them. So, Jacques, right now, the question I have for all of you is who should be the Titans' next head coach? Now, before we start, I want to say that I honestly feel this is the best crop of available coaches in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you all agree with that. We're in a prime position, whether we hire now or we wait till the playoffs is over to see if there's any coaches to get fired. But we're going to talk about all these candidates. So if you're watching us now, listening to us, lock in. Because I'm telling you, we're about to go through and discuss all these coaches. Are y'all ready? That's the question I want to know. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? All right. So what Jacques and I are going to do, we're going to throw a name out. And we're going to talk about the good, the bad. What do we feel about them as far as being a coach? We want your comments in this section as well, too. You know what I mean? So team leader says, let's go. All right. Okay. All right. So for me, I'm going to start first. All right, Betsy said, get my popcorn ready. We're going to give y'all a full breakdown of the coaches, okay? We know about these coaches. We've studied them, and we want you all to really listen in and kind of figure out who do y'all think should be top three. Maybe we'll do that at the end, do a top three of who we feel. Jacques, you have your top three, I have my top three, when we're done. But we're going to go through and discuss each coach. All right, the first coach I'm going to throw out there, y'all, and I think he's probably the favorite throughout the league, is John Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. John Harbaugh. Now, I honestly think there's a lot of positives with John Harbaugh. Who do y'all think? Put the comments in the comment section, man. Any of them fire comments will pop on the screen here. John Harbaugh coached for the Baltimore Ravens for 18 seasons, right? He won a Super Bowl. He's been in the playoffs 14 of the 18 times he's been a coach. He's worked under Andy Reid. He's worked under Jimmy Johnson. I mean, this guy is the brother, of course, of Jim Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is an unbelievable coach. And I think one thing that he'll do is he'll bring that CEO type of coach within the team, right? He'll bring his organizational thing to the team. He's been proven of a winner. This guy here might be the top candidate overall out of all these candidates, at least as of today. I tell you, Jacques, real quick, for me, the strengths is stability. He's a winner. He can literally walk into the room and say, look, y'all, I win. Y'all don't. You know what I mean? And I think that John Harbaugh, I think we should consider John Harbaugh. I think he should be one of our top candidates. I think the negative right now, Jacques, that I'm looking at is he's going to cost. Now, Jacques, you sent me a tweet today saying that John Harbaugh is looking for $20 million a year and looking for a $10 million staff budget. So he's going to cost. But sometimes when you invest, you got to invest a lot of money. The Titans haven't really been good. So I think John Harbaugh will be a great addition to the Titans. I don't know what y'all think. Put your comments in the comment section. Jacques, Talk to me about John Harbaugh, bro.
So I'm gonna give you his strengths. So of course, like you said, his resume speaks for itself. I mean, he's one of the longest tenured coaches uh, right now in this decade, if that makes sense. And he's won a Super Bowl. He's had some every team he's had has had a winning record. I think this is his first team or like second team that didn't make the playoffs. And he brings a pedigree to him where he can build a culture, right? I think I'm not even gonna call it a weakness. He's been with the Ravens for so long that if he gets put in a situation, can he build a team from the ground up? And I think that's why he wants full control, like he wants it, because he wants the opportunity to bring in literally players, players, and players. And he's built relationships in the league. Think about it. If we get John Harbaugh as a coach, you have other players that will want to come here free agent from a free agent perspective, right?
Yep.
The problem with that is we already have a GM in Berganzi who has a structure, and Amy has finally gotten the Titans leadership. We got a clear picture of who's in charge, right? And we got a clear picture. So I think that's the only negative on him. I ain't worried about the money. The Titans got the money to pay him. The only negative is the roster control that he wants, and then him having to build a team up like the Titans. I'm not saying it can't be done, but what do we have? And then too, when you're at a situation like the Ravens for so long, your message gets stale, right?
Right.
And as your message gets stale, can you pick that same message up and implement it in a new organization, a new system, just a new everything? And then think about it too. Will he suffer from fatigue, right? Vrabel at least had a year to sit out and kind of just chill, get his mind right, refocus, reset. We knew what he was going for the entire time, which was the Patriots' job. We knew that. But at the same time, he's like, hey, let me go and be an assistant. Let me chill for a little while. Will John Harbaugh suffer from fatigue, right? I'm going from another situation to another situation. I got to get from here to here, right?
That's right. Yep.
I got to refocus my whole thing. I'm so used to doing it the Raven way. Now I got to take the Raven way and probably bring it and build the Titan way, if that makes sense, right?
Yep.
So those are my pros and cons for John Harbaugh.
Okay, cool. All right, so after each coach, we're gonna have a tally. We're gonna say good, no good, just those two options, and that's for those in the comments section as well. And then after that, we'll say Harbaugh is good or no good. I'm gonna say good. Jacques,
good.
Okay,
I'll give it good. I'll give it good.
So me and Jacques says good. What do y'all think? I think I see half and half. I see some that say I like Harbaugh, and I see some like, man, he got too much control. I ain't good with it. So y'all, I'll give it maybe the next minute. Y'all just tell me in the comment section, good, no good. You can even put G or NG. You know what I'm saying? I'll put a tally, and then we'll get on to the next coach. All right, we got good from D Nice and Jay Burks. Thank you, the little work. He said my favorite. I appreciate that. Good, but not really. Okay, Joe Blacko, team leader, good. Okay, so we got 4 goods right now. Okay, all right. All right, we'll go 15 more seconds. Tighten up says good.
Good, but not realistic. I see.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from John Harbaugh. We're gonna say good for Harbaugh. All right. Bethany says good, but not the best. Cool. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have John Harbaugh right now as a Titans. That for me and you and our weekly family, we're saying good. Okay. Give us a coach, Jacques.
All right, let me see. Let me look at my list. Okay, I kind of want to go down the list here. So we got John Harbaugh. You know what? I'm gonna move to one that's super tied to the Titans. We're gonna talk Matt Nagy.
All right.
We'll talk Matt Nagy. So I think this is the most controversial one is Matt Nagy. And if you go down Matt Nagy's resume, his coaching resume, we all know he was with the Chiefs. I think when Alex Smith was there, and then he ended up. He had a little stint where he was working with Patrick Mahomes, and I think that ultimately got him the Chicago Bears job.
Right.
He ended up getting the Chicago Bears job. He took him to the playoffs. He did win Coach of the Year.
Yep.
The thing about it, he has a relationship with Berganzi.
Facts.
And he has experience. I will say that. Say that. He has experience. And sometimes when it comes to experience and you have a second stint at life, you tend to do things different, if that makes sense, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the positive on him, he's worked with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, so he will be familiar with a Cam Ward. He's familiar with leadership in Berganzi, so they kind of probably have the same philosophy. And when he was with the Bears, again, he took him to a playoff. He did take him to a playoff game, which with Mitchell Trubisky. The con is it's not a home run hit. It would be a lazy hire because of the relationship with Berganzi.
Right.
And I think Matt Nagy, to me, he was suffering from the Brian Callahan tree of he didn't really call plays with Kansas City. It was Andy Reid, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Andy Reid had a lot to do with that.
That's facts.
So that's my pros and cons on Matt Nagy. What about you, Hope?
Facts, no paper, Jacques. All right. So for me, we got a lot of comments as well. Y'all let us know, good or no good for Matt Nagy. Y'all let us know. All right. So for me, man, Matt Nagy, to your point, did win Coach of the Year. He won that in 2018. And he did that with the Chicago Bears. And so you had an incredible defense with the Bears. You had Khalil Mack and those guys, and even the defensive coordinator. You had Vic Fangio as well. Like, he had a very good staff. But during that time frame as well too, with young quarterbacks, he had Justin Fields, he had Mitchell Trubisky. We know that didn't work out very well, right? And I think a big part of this is we want the best for Cam Ward. And I think, when you look at Patrick Mahomes, I know that's really the bread and butter that people are going to talk about, as well as the relationship he has with Barganzi. And Jacques, you had told me that, he helped Barganzi, right, to interview, right? So there's definitely a connection. And I would tell you, I think Nagy will probably be top 5 as far as candidates that the Titans are going to want to have in the interview. Like, he'll be up there from that alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you take the Coach of the Year that he get in 2018, and, being a part of a Chiefs organization, I think outside of that, man, I'm not too strong on Nagy right now. Not as a head coach. I think we have too many issues with our roster right now. I think we need a little bit more experience. We need a little bit more of an alpha dog. I don't see that from Nagy. And, the last 2 years, let's just be honest, the Kansas City Chiefs have not been really good on offense. They have not been the offensive old. And, even last year, he called the plays. And, he was he's the offensive coordinator. And, Andy Reid can take the fall, but he's a part of that as well, too. So I'm going to say for Nagy, no. What about you, Jacques?
You know how I feel about it. No, I'm good.
Okay.
Good. I think you can do better. Again, he comes from let me say this. He comes from a winning organization. He's won Super Bowls.
Right.
I get it. But to your point, I just don't think he's mentally ready. And I think he would do better in a more stable situation. But I think he'll be, and even as a coordinator, I don't think he's what has he really accomplished? I guess I'm asking. I know he got head coach of the year, but what have he really accomplished? So that's just me. But that's me. No, I'm out on it.
All right, so we're gonna see what everybody else has. See, Bethany Cheney, no. Joe Blacko, no. Bethany says still no. Okay. Cozell, no. Hell to the no. Okay. Titan South, no. Wow. Jay Burks, no. Team Leader, no. D Nice, no. Stevie B, no. All right, it's clear. It's a no for Nagy for everybody. We don't have not one yes on Nagy. Okay, so we have a 1 on Harbaugh. We have a yes on Harbaugh and a no on Nagy. Okay, all right. Okay, so the next for me, I'm going to throw out there, y'all, and that is Kevin Stefanski. All right. Now, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach for the Cleveland Browns, who was just recently fired, is an interesting candidate. And y'all put in the comments, good or no good for Stefanski. And at the end, we'll bring those comments up. So Stefanski, I think the positive of Stefanski, he is an offensive guy. All right. He is he's a play caller. He does really good with play action. He's a coach under Norv Turner, Gary Kubiak. So he grew up in his coaching years under great tutelage for offense, right? Now, he was fired, but, when you look at Stefanski, he's been around for a long time, all right? And he has had some success. Kevin Stefanski has won 2 times head coach of the year. He's won it twice, okay? That's huge. And he's had a solid record. He was the offensive coordinator when the Minnesota Vikings were really good on offense back in 2019. That's when he had Kirk Cousins. He was the quarterback. He was there. He had Baker Mayfield looking really good at quarterback as well, too, when Baker was in Cleveland. So Stefanski has done an incredible job with opportunities he's had. I think as well, too, with Cam Ward, if he was to coach Cam Ward, I mean, I think Stefanski could do a good job with Cam Ward. Cam Ward has that talent. You know what I mean? I think the issue I have with Stefanski is really how he handled the Shedeur Sanders situation last year. I don't know all what has happened. I don't know what the issues were. I do know there was a lot of personal issues between him and the Sanders family, from his father-in-law being the guy that Deion Sanders threw the water on. Yeah, you remember that guy, Tim McCarver? Yeah, I saw it a lot when it happened. I couldn't believe it when it happened back in the day in baseball. So that's a part of it. But as a head coach, even if you don't like a player, you should do a better job in covering that. So what happens if there's issues between him and another player? You know what I mean? For Kevin Stefanski. So I'll wait, Jacques, to after you, and then we'll discuss to see if he's a no good or no go. But I do think he has a lot of good, but a lot of issues. What about you, Jacques?
So again, you mentioned the good. I mean, the good kind of outweighs the bad. I mean, the experience that he has, I feel that he can come in and maximize his offense for sure. Certain situations where, again, it comes to roster control, I'm actually starting to decide with coaches where I think they should have full control over the roster and who they draft and who they want, because you're coaching these players. You're with these players 24 hours, 24. You know these players' personality in and out. And I think with Kevin Stefanski is like you said, the Shedeur situation. Like he didn't handle it properly. And I think he got sloppy with it, and he let his feelings get in a way. And my thing is, too, he might be a good dude. He might be a good dude.
Yep.
But what you see in public and what you see, it just didn't look right. Now, what he was able to do and cook with, like you said, with Baker and even Shedeur, he put Shedeur up to me as Shedeur started to come on, but it was too late. I think the good outweighs the bad. It's just that big little stain on him. And he will have a head coaching job. And if he did get hired from the Titans, we'll talk about it. So that's my pros and cons. But go ahead, Hawk. What you thinking? What you thinking?
All right.
You think yeah or nay?
So for Stefanski, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Jacques, what you think?
Man, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say because originally Cleveland did want Cam. And I just with just putting the personal crap aside and just talking football.
Yes, sir.
He schemes very well, and I like what he can bring to at least elevate Cam. I'm in on Stefanski.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, all right. So we have. Oh, thank you, Latoya. Thank you. She said, glad to see y'all live on YouTube. Hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. Hey, the Bleacher Report. See, we'll have some more shows on Bleacher Report, but hey, we've been off season. We here heavy, so we appreciate that, Toya. Always. All right, so. Let's look at the Kevin Stefanski. Okay, we got a no, a heck no, a hell no, no good. I would say good to his experience, but he has some questions. Okay, I'll say that as a yes. We got a 50-50. Yeah, smash the like button, y'all. Yes on Kevin Stefanski. No. He put his pride. So I think the weekly family on Stefanski is at a no. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay. I got another one for you.
Yes, sir.
We'll pull up another chief, Steve Spagnuolo.
Yes, sir. All right.
You know anything about Steve? Steve was the coach. I think he was the head coach for the Rams. I think he had a stint with the Rams. And then after he had his stint with the Rams, he's been with the Chiefs ever since. Great defensive coordinator. I mean, a hell of a defense. He's had the Chiefs defense in situations where I'm like, they're really not talented on paper, but his scheme is amazing.
Yep.
The problem with Steve, man, Steve had his shot. And I think with Steve, I think he's a better defensive coordinator than a head coach.
Yeah.
For me, leading men, in my opinion, no. He did his stint with the Rams, and he wasn't pretty solid with the Rams. I know you get a second chance, but for you to be a coordinator that long, I'm going to say he's a better defensive coordinator than a head coach, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts, the good and the bad.
All right, cool. All right. Y'all, let us know what y'all think about Steve Spagnuolo. All right. This guy here is a Hall of Famer. And I mean, as a defensive coordinator, to your point, he's unbelievable. And Kansas City has always been talked about their offense. But if you look at their offense outside of Patrick Mahomes, of course, and then Travis Kelce, they just be throwing guys out there. Can we really name outside of Tyreek Hill some years ago? They hadn't really had a lot of stars out there. You know what's been holding them together is the defense. And since he's been there, they have a top 10 defense like every year. You know, Kansas City's defense is very underrated, and he's the reason. And back in his day as well, he was the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, when they won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So, when it comes to defense, he knows what he's talking about, right? And the NFL and even in college, you all can see defense is important. And I think a lot of teams are focusing on deep. You don't see as many points or as many yards. That's something he does incredibly well, right? And I think for him right now, again, he's been a defensive coordinator for a long time. Can he lead a team, right? As a coach, I am interested in Cam Ward's development. Now, I'm not sitting there saying you can't hire Spagnuolo and get a fire offensive coordinator to help him. I get that, but I would say, man, right now, for what we need, I'm on a no here. I'll say a no on Spagnuolo right now, and everything. Y'all put y'all comment section in there as well too. I just hadn't seen enough out of him overall from a schematic standpoint of him being a head coach. I don't see it yet. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say no on Spagnuolo. What about you, Jacques?
I'm saying no. Yeah, he's not on my list, man. Again, if we need a defensive coordinator, which I don't think Kansas City will give him up, I would say yes. I'm like, hell yeah, sign me up. D coordinator all day. But as a head coach now, I think his ship is sailed. Okay. And I think he just needs to sit there and just continue to do what he does. Yes, and I know Berganzi's doing his due diligence by interviewing him because, I mean, at the end of the day, I know, Bethany, you said nobody from the Chiefs, but the Chiefs is a winning organization, and they've been winning for a long time. They've won Super Bowls. So you do need that flavor in the building. You need Super Bowl winners in the buildings, but just not those. You can do it on our coaching staff.
Yes, sir. All right, so we got team leader, no. Joe Blacko, no. What's up, Kenyon? What's happening? What's happening, sir? Yes, on Spags. Okay. All right, let's see here. Bethany, nobody from the Chiefs that she mentioned. D Nice, no. Titan South, no. Stevie B, yes. The Lou Walker says, hey, he agrees with you, Jacques. On Spags, he's a better D coordinator. Totally agree. No from Jay Burks. Okay. So it looks as if there's a no for Spagnuolo. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, now, my next coach that I want to put here on the board is Mike McCarthy. All right, so Mike McCarthy, to me, this is an interesting pick because Mike McCarthy has won a Super Bowl. And Mike McCarthy was not only that, he was very successful with the Green Bay Packers, where he won the Super Bowl, and the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that says a lot for your coach, for Mike McCarthy. What I like a lot about him, man, is this guy wins. And not just that, not only as a head coach, but he did that even as a coordinator. And he knows talent. He had Dak Prescott looking great, Aaron Rodgers. This guy had 3 straight 12-win seasons as a head coach, okay? And this was just recently, even as of 2023. So his offensive philosophy is incredible. And, I think he learned a lot from Bill Walsh, back in the 49er days. This guy is efficient as a coach. As I mentioned, Cam Ward's development is one of the most, if not the most important piece in this. He's worked under Martin Scheidenheimer and Paul Hackett. He's a West Coast offensive guy. I like Mike McCarthy. I'm at a yes at Mike McCarthy for me. I think he's my favorite. And Harbaugh's talking to me since he's been there. But Jacques, I've been saying Mike McCarthy for about a month. I'm high on Mike McCarthy. So what about you, Jacques?
You probably remember, man, when Callahan got fired, he was the first person I said that the Titans should literally interview right away. Again, his resume speaks for itself. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl. He's been with a winning organization in Green Bay. He's worked with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. And then when he went to Dallas, like you said, he worked with Dak Prescott. He knows offense. He understands offense. He gets it. The thing with McCarthy, I can't really find too many cons, right? I think he's been out for like 2 years, which is good for him. It's really Mike McCarthy. Does he want to come here, if that makes sense, to build a product? Yeah. I think that's the con. It's like, how much value does he see in coming to the Tennessee Titans? That's right. Another thing, too, with Mike has been in places where he hasn't really had to build, right? Yep. Ever since he was with Green Bay, it was just a feeder program, right? And they've always been a winning organization. Same way with the Dallas Cowboys. When he came to Dallas, you know how Jerry does. Jerry's like, man, shoot, I'm gonna offload this coach because we're almost here. We're a playoff team. We should be a Super Bowl team. We're gonna bring in another coach, and we're gonna see if we can maximize that. And I think the thing of maximizing that talent, can he do it, right? And can he continue to do it? And you're dealing with a different generation too. So I've been a yes on Mike McCarthy. It'll be a super upgrade. Now I'll be interested to see his staff. I think that'll be my next. And I think he worked with Bones. I think he did work with Bones. I think he did work with Bones Fossil. So I think he did work with him in Dallas. So they got that relationship too. So it'll be like a plug and play. So I think again, the things with these coaches is, do you want to come to a place where you got to build, and our ownership too is got to take that into equation. He's coming from Jerry. He's coming from the Green Bay, where of course they own their own stuff, and then you got Dallas, and then you got the Titans. So if he gets hired, so I'm in all that on.
Yeah, and I'll add one more thing. I would say a negative of him from what I remember with the Cowboys and even the Packers. He had issues with closing out games sometimes, and I'm sure Cowboy fans, if anyone's watching, would say the same thing. You think about the 49er loss that he had, those things like that. Again, the playoffs, right? The Cowboys ain't won a playoff game since 1996. So, those issues I think he had with the Cowboys, that's why they let him go, right? So, all right. So, and Mike McCarthy is getting interviewed by the Titans, and so is Spags. Thank you, team leader. That is correct. So they're being interviewed. So, all right. So let's go down the list. We got Brian Grover. No.
What up, B. Grove? My guy B.
What up, B. Jeezy? What's happening? We got Bethany Cheney at yes. Titan South, yes. Stevie B says it's number 1. Titan South, McCarthy or Harbaugh. Team leader, yes. Cozell 18, yes. Jay Burks, yes. Yeah, man. Chris Martinelli, yes. Yeah. And Big Bad JS, yeah. All right. A definite yes for McCarthy. It looks like right now he's leading the pack right now. As far, at least that's what I'm getting from everybody here. So, okay. All right.
So my next one, Hawk. Now this one surprised me. This one came out of left field. I wasn't anticipating this one, which is crazy. It's Jason Garrett.
Okay.
And I don't know how the hell he got on their radar. I think he requested it. I guess he sees something in Cam of what, but I think Jason Garrett is the only coach, really the only team that he's interviewing with, which is wild. So just to go down his resume, man, he was with the Cowboys from 2011 to 2019. He's been with the Dolphins as an OC. He did a little stint with the New York Giants, like as a consultant or whatever. Nothing too crazy, but everybody remembers him with the Cowboys. Okay. Yep. They won the NFC titles. They almost went to a Super Bowl, but the little fumbly kick crazy thing. He's always made 3 playoff appearances. He's been coach of the year. The thing about Garrett, and it's the Cowboy thing, is he never could get to the next level. He can never get to the next step.
That's right.
And he had Tony Romo. He's had talented teams, but it's same way like Mike McCarthy. It's closing. I'm looking for you to get to that top, and you can't. He always hit a ceiling, and he's been out of coaching for a long time. That is his biggest con to me. He hasn't coached since what? 2020, if that, right? He did, like I said, he did a little stint with the head coach with the Giants. Brother, it's
2021 actually.
Okay, 2021. But that's still a while. Yep. It's 2025 now. And so my thing is, will your philosophy that you have had, will it go on stale ears? We need a motivator. And you've been out of football for a while. To me, it's a Like I said, he got some positive. His resume is amazing. But the fact that you haven't been coaching for that while and that long, and I know he was a pivotal player with Dak. And from the football perspective, Garrett was cold. I'll give him that. That from a developmental perspective. But just for me, he's been out for so freaking long, man. And I don't know. I don't know if the philosophy right now would click with what we have and what we're looking for. Okay. And you're trying to get the team to where you need to get to. And it's like, no, unlike Mike McCarthy, who's only been out for like 2 to 3 years, right?
Right. Yep.
So he can kind of get in there and get his feet, get back. He can get back to business as usual. But Garrett, it's going to take a while, man. You've been an analyst, man. You've been an analyst on Fox Sports or wherever he's been at for that long. And now you want to coach? I don't know, brother. What about you, Hawk?
All right. So where are you at, a yes or a no?
I'm a no.
You're a no. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm a
All
no.
right. So
I'm a
Jacques
no.
said a no. Okay.
I'm a
Hey,
no.
Jacques, what's up, Rico? What's happening? Hey,
Is
good
that
luck to
Rico
y'all
B?
Bills. What's up, Rico? What's happening? Good luck
Is
to the
that Rico?
Bills, man.
Is that Rico B?
Yes,
Rico
sir.
B?
That's him.
B
That's him.
Rico? Where you at,
Hey,
Rico?
what up? Bleacher
What
Report
up,
in the
my guy?
building.
Yeah, he
Yes,
said
sir.
y'all
Yeah,
won't.
man.
Y'all
Yes,
won't
sir.
camera.
All right. So Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett is a great offensive mind. Not only was he a good coach with the Dallas Cowboys as a coordinator, again, he was promoted to head coach. And he had Dak Prescott looking great as a rookie. Same with Ezekiel Elliott, right? These guys were 13-3 when they were rookies. Think about that. That's pretty impressive, right? Especially in the NFC East. And he had the Cowboys to go to the playoffs. And even Jerry Jones, actually, signed him to a bigger deal. So Garrett early did a great job. And I say too is that, when you look at him, Jason Garrett used to play for the Cowboys. I remember him as a backup. So the Cowboys is where he lived and breathed for many years. And I think Jerry Jones really liked Garrett because he could control Jason Garrett. He's like, hey man, Jason Garrett, hey bro, I'm whatever. And Jason Garrett was kind of low key, right? Kind of low key. And I think somewhat that can impact him as a coach here because when you look at the end of his tenure with the Dallas Cowboys for 3 years in a row, he was like 8-8, 9-7, and things like that. And I felt the Cowboys were going down the longer he coached. So he actually was exposed, I felt, as a coach, right? Then he gets fired, goes to the New York Giants, becomes a coordinator there with the Giants. He was only there for 2 years. And I know part of the COVID year was a part of it too when he was there. But, when I looked at the New York Giants, the Giants have not been good in a long time. And it started when Jason Garrett was the offensive coordinator, when they had Joe Judge as the coach. It's gone down ever since then. So Garrett hasn't had success in about 8 years. And like you say, he's been commentating and things as well. So I'm going to say for Jason Garrett, I'm going to say a no for me. All right. So we have, let's see here. Yeah, team leader said major, yeah, for sure. All right, we got Big Bad JS says yes.
Ooh.
Stevie B says no. The little worker says absolutely not. Rico said, you want Brady? We're gonna talk about Brady. I'm very interested in Joe Brady. We'll talk about him. Joe Brady's on my radar. By the way, tell you Buffalo Bill fans that Joe Brady's on our radar. All right, Joe Blacko, no. Hell to the no.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett did develop Dak. He did. That's true. Bethany says pass. Titan Sales might say it might be too risky. Team leader heard he might be hired as a senior advisor. Okay. No. So we're going no with Jason Garrett. All right. Jason Garrett, get out of here. All right. So what up, Rodney G? Okay. All right. So, Jock, the next coach that I want to bring up here, man. And you know what, Rico? Since you're here, we're gonna bring some Buffalo Wild sauce here, hot sauce here for you, bro, for Joe Brady, man. So that's the next thing I'm gonna bring up. Joe Brady. All right, let's talk about Joe Brady. And Rico, you can agree or disagree. Tell me what you think. Did our research on this guy? All right, Joe Brady is an offensive guru, and he's a West Coast offensive guy. I do think as well, he coached under Sean Payton, Sean McDermott. So he has had great people around him in his upbringing as a coach. And for those that don't know, Joe Brady's the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. So he's still out there coaching and everything. He has Josh Allen out there. I will tell you, I don't think the Buffalo Bills on offense have a lot of outside talent. I mean, Keon Coleman can't even get his attitude together every game, but he has Josh Allen. He has Dalvin Cook, James Cook. Those guys are doing pretty well, and the offense has been moving. Now, there have been times that Joe Brady has been inconsistent in his play calling, right? At times, I think because he's an offensive mind, sometimes I think he can be sort of passive at times. I think there are opportunities where he puts Josh Allen out there on his own too much, runs him too much. Cam Ward is not that type of quarterback. So I don't expect him to bring that same type of play call here to Tennessee for him to run in those things as much as he did with Josh Allen. Now, I will say I like Joe Brady's offensive play calling. I like it a lot. He's an offensive-minded guy. He's young. And this guy here has, he's had some success, but I don't think he's had a lot of success. and I don't think he's had enough success. So then, can we see a Super Bowl? Can we see a Super Bowl in there somewhere, right? To be a head coach from the Buffalo Bills, who consistently gets to the playoffs, but offensively they struggle and they don't win. There's no excuse for the Buffalo Bills not to at least get to the Super Bowl this year. All the teams that have been beating y'all are no longer in the playoffs. So let's see what Joe Brady does. We can wait till the playoffs is over. But for right now, I'm going no on Joe Brady. What about you, Jacques?
So I'm gonna go this positives first. I think the biggest stamp on his resume was he was a passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach for LSU back in 2019 with Mr. Joe Burrow, right?
Yep.
And he helped elevate them. Of course, he did a stint with the Saints. But to your point, when it comes to the Bills, I think the strongest thing that I've seen them do this year was their run game. And you can tell he's implemented their run game. And he got James Cook, man, balling. He got him rolling. Yes, but I'm with you. I think it's the experience for me that I need to see a little bit more.
Okay.
And I think as a head coach, not right now. Not right now. As a coordinator, maybe. But as a head coach, no, sir. Especially with the list that you have now, if that makes sense. And what you have is to literally say, okay, hey, we have this. He's still dealing with Josh Allen. To your point, this is the most easiest road the Bills have ever had. To the Super Bowl. Can Joe Brady and company do it? For me, I'm a no on Joe Brady.
Okay. No on Joe Brady. Okay. Hey, Rico, check your email. Check your email. I sent you the link. He said he wanted to join in for a minute about Joe Brady. Bring him on in here, man. Bring him on in here. I sent you the email. Right, okay. Yes, sir. Right, all right. So let's look at Brady. Joe Blacko says no. Team leader says Bills offense is up and down. So I'm going to say a no. Jay Burks, no. Big Bad JS, no. Bethany says no. Titan South says no. Wow. It's a bunch of no's for Joe Brady. I'm kind of shocked because I think Joe Brady could be a favorite for some team for sure. But we got a lot of folks saying no. So, okay. Oh, we got a super chat. Titan South. Do y'all think we'll be good in 2026? All right. So as you all know, super chats they override any other comment, man. So we're going to address that comment. Titan South. Do-do-do-do. Boom. Titan South in the building. Thank you, sir. Yes, with our roster right now, I'm going to say no. Right. We could be better. We should be better. We had only 3 wins, but I'm going to say no. Right. We have a long way to go. We got to, for what we see now, we got a whole lot of pieces to add. I'm going to say no. What about you, Jacques?
I'm going to put that in my back pocket for now until I see what we got to hire a head coach first before I can say who, if we're going to be good. Yes, and then 2, we got to build this roster up. So we'll see. Just be patient.
Yes, all right.
Patience is the key.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir. All right. Okay. All right. Who you got, Jacques?
Man, so I'm gonna go to this guy, and he just got off. He just got fired. Is Mr. Well, no, he didn't get fired. I'm sorry, Mr. Van Joseph. All right, Titans are interviewing him. He's the D coordinator for the Broncos, and pros is, man, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator, dog. Yep. He is a hell of a defensive coordinator. And every stint that he's done, he's been pretty solid at it. I know he's had interviews for head coaching jobs, but for me, the knock on it is Van Joseph is not a head coach, in my opinion.
We got a special guest, Jacques.
Oh, we do. I see Rico B.
All right.
Rico B, you want to bring him up? Go ahead, bring him up.
We'll bring him up for a few. We'll get back to Van Joseph. All right.
Yeah. Rico.
What up, gang? What's happening,
What's good, man?
What's happening,
fellas?
Bleacher Report in the building. What's good, man?
What's good, fellas? What's
happening? I'm good, brother. I'm good, sir.
Listen, I see y'all. You guys know you guys are my peoples. I always got to show some love to y'all. You know, that's how it is. Of course. I hear y'all looking for a head coach.
We are.
So y'all searching. First of all, I just need to know this. Are y'all all the way in on Cam Ward?
And of course.
Absolutely. So you guys love it. Are you guys loving it?
Because I mean, question anymore, man. It's more of everyone around them. You know, we're straight at quarterback. We're good.
I mean, y'all were all in on that dude you guys drafted just a couple years ago.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
He's irrelevant now. I don't even know. I forget his name.
Yeah, Will Levis. Yeah,
Rico, let me ask you this. Rico, what do you think about Cam Ward? What's
I
your
love
thoughts?
Cam Ward. I love Cam Ward. I love how serious he is. He don't play around. Like, we here to win. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to babysit you. And the fact that he got that at, what is he, 22, 23?
Yeah, 23.
He already got it like that? Bro,
exactly.
you just got to bring the right coach in for him.
That's right.
Now, this is where Joe Brady comes up. Because that's where I'm here to talk about my man, Joe Brady.
Let's talk about it.
You already have a serious, no nonsense. That's what it appears to me. I mean, he still commands respect from his boys playing in college right now.
Okay,
you feel me?
He does.
They still look up to the general. So you got to bring in a coach that knows how to lead men. Joe Brady, if you make him your head coach, I don't know, bro. And I like Joe Brady. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Joe Brady. I like him. I just don't like. You should see, if you talk to Bills fans right now, or you ask them how they feel about Joe Brady, bro. You're going to hear it all. You're going to be, get this brother out of here. He going to Baltimore. Yo, get him to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. And I think I heard Jacques say he likes his offense. I like him. I like the way he runs his offense, bro. Let me tell you something. Mesh plays gets played out after a minute, right? Now, call it what you want. People talking about, oh, the Bills don't have the wide receivers for this case. Y'all got, at least you guys have some wideouts. You guys have some guys that can separate.
Oh, keep going, Rico.
Because I'm looking at my receiver room. I'm looking at my receiver room, and I'm looking at your receiver room. I mean,
really?
Calvin
Really?
Ridley.
It's not much of a difference. I do agree.
Yeah.
But
what happened to Calvin Ridley? You don't got the speed to get downfield. No, I'm not. I'm talking about generally. If he's healthy,
it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee he'll be back next season contractually.
But he is known to get
he
separation.
Was there, to answer your question, when he was there, he was a value. Yes,
absolutely. This is what I'm saying. Okay. Whether he's going to be with the team next year is irrelevant. I'm saying what y'all had. So
he's
you're
okay.
good.
He didn't play this contract
at all. This Brady offense, you're going to need receivers that give you the yak, right? It's predicated on that mesh, catch the ball and do what you do. Now, do you guys have that? That's a whole nother ball game. You have a quarterback that can deliver though, but you need someone that can. He's a self-motivating guy, but I think you need an OG to be Cam Ward's head coach. You need like a Vrabel type guy. Y'all should have never let that brother go. Vrabel was the coach for y'all, but y'all.
Jacques answered it because the fact Mike Vrabel wanted to leave. That's like holding on to a person that's with you in a relationship and they want to leave. You can't. It's nothing you can do. Maybe I'll grow hair for you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's leadership.
Hold on.
So Rico, it's leadership.
Thank you.
It's leadership. That's why he wanted to leave, was because of our leadership and our structure. He wanted more control. Yeah, he wanted more control.
You move on from AJ Brown. I didn't ask for AJ Brown to move on. What are y'all doing?
There you go.
Right. So there's a lot of those things that fell apart. Long story short, the reason I want to come on, I'm not trying to blast the show, but I'm gonna say this: Joe Brady, think twice on bringing a guy like Joe Brady. Cam Ward is one of those guys that needs a leader of men. Some guy's gonna lead him. He's already self-motivated, but he needs someone who's gonna match his energy. You need that. You need that. So having a guy like McDaniel come in, great mind, but is he a leader of men? You saw what happened in Miami.
That's right.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Now, offensive mind, bro, put somebody in the room with him that could be, play. But you need somebody that's a leader of men. And
absolutely.
Right now, a candidate for the Tennessee time. I don't know, man. Something about Tennessee, bro. Before I get into this, I feel for you guys. I feel for you all year, making content for a team that, you know what I'm saying, struggling to get some dubs. At least you guys got a quarterback, you know what I'm saying? However, I'm not trying to throw shade. It's tough because I was there.
I understand.
17 years in a drought. So it was like, golly, making content. We think we got it. Now we don't, right?
Yeah.
The head coach that I think would be best suited for you guys, believe it or not, you guys might not like this, but I saw you guys bring up Vance Joseph.
Yep.
Would be one. What do y'all think about Raheem Morris? I know they moved on from him, but I still think there's some good qualities with Raheem Morris. But to get another head coach like that, I think he has to chill as a coordinator before he can move back up the ranks. Anyways, love y'all. I had to come through and show you some love.
Hey, we appreciate
y'all don't want Joe Brady, bro.
No, we don't. And I say this: those in the comment section, same as well. We went to as a no for Joe Brady.
Yeah, let that brother go to college. Let him go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Let them go to, I don't know, Delaware State. That needs, I
Yep.
don't know. I'm just
That's
making
right.
that up,
Right.
but
Yes,
y'all catch
sir.
what I'm saying, man.
Hey,
But
well,
that's-
Rico, if you want to shout out your podcast, your Bleach.
Please do.
Hey, yo, he's on Bleacher Report as well. He's the Buffalo Bills podcast. Hey,
Yeah,
go for it.
So listen, man, y'all Buffalo fanatics everywhere on social media, Buffalo fanatics, and on Bleach Report, Rico_BF. You know what I'm saying? We do the post game shows for the Bills games. My boys are holding it down for the Titans, doing some content. You know what I'm saying? We're going into the new year, so I mean, you know,
Yeah,
we
you
still
already
waiting.
know.
Yeah, no, right. We are
We
still
gonna
waiting. That's
talk.
right. Yeah.
We gonna talk. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
we'll
we out here, baby. We out here. So I'm getting ready for these Jags. I'm asking y'all because you AFC South. I gotta ask y'all a question. Who y'all got winning this game?
You're gonna hate my answer.
I want to
It's
hear it.
Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville.
Yeah. Y'all.
Jacksonville plays with an edge, and I think
Mhm.
that's what Buffalo is missing, especially on the interior. And Jacksonville is going to give them all that they want. I'm telling you. And and I think Jacksonville will win primarily on their defense. You know what I mean? And so I'd say Josh Allen better be
You think
ready.
their defense is that nice?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, man.
I got a different answer. Jacksonville is gotten hot. Their defense is amazing. Their offense, especially Trevor Lawrence. Y'all gonna have to watch out for Trevor. Trevor has really picked it up in the last, I think, 7 games.
Yeah.
He's throwing some type of astronomical, but it's experience. I'll say this: it's the experience behind it. Liam Cohen, his first playoff game, and where is it in Buffalo?
Jacksonville.
Nope. Jacksonville.
It's Jacksonville. Okay.
Ooh,
Liam Cohen's first Buffalo,
Yep.
first playoff game. Trevor Lawrence is, I think, maybe second playoff stint.
Third playoff game.
Third. I think the experience from what Buffalo has already been here is going to get into the Jags' mind. And I know the Jags have enough talent to beat the Bills. They do.
They're talented for
Especially
sure.
this year. But
Yeah.
you still can't count out Josh Allen. I'm going to always say that.
Never count out Josh
You
Allen.
cannot count out Josh Allen. And I've seen Josh Allen, and I've grown to respect Josh Allen, man. People, if y'all don't know, us and this brother have gone back and forth for how many years? Almost 6,
Yep.
7, 8 years.
Mhm.
And just from the Jags and the Bills and the Titans playing. So Josh Allen, you can't count him. And I think that's where the Jags are going to kind of make their mistake, where they're like, hey, we getting a limping Bills team that's going to come into Jacksonville, and we got the momentum and so forth and so forth. Do not do that. You got to stop the run too. And that's why I was talking about the run game, that thing that Joe Brady's gotten James Cook where he's need to be. So I look at it a little bit different. I think the Bills might take it. Now, do I think the Bills, this is the Bills' clear path to get to the Super Bowl. If y'all don't get to the Super Bowl, bro, y'all might want to look at.
Listen.
I'm
We
just
might be
saying, bro.
interviewing Sean McDermott soon. Let
Don't
the
fall
Bills
for all that.
lose. Let the
I'm
Bills
just
lose. And
saying,
Sean
bro.
McDermott's taking a flight to Nashville to get interviewed for the Titans job.
Listen, we ain't letting Sean McDermott go. Yeah, man,
Hey,
that's my guy.
I don't
I like
know,
Sean.
Rico.
I
I
like
They
don't
will
know.
fire Sean McDermott.
No,
I
they
don't
won't. They
know.
won't. Pagula, the owners love Pagula and Brandon Bean. I'd be stunned if they did that. I'd be absolutely stunned. Here's the thing I'm gonna say. Y'all heard a guy named James Cook?
We know
Y'all heard
about
of
James Cook a little bit down south.
I am not buying. I'm telling you right now, the number 1 rush defense in the league. I ain't buying it. All right, James Cook and this offensive line that will duel you all the way to the end zone, that will zone run you outside zone. These guys don't defend the outside zone very well, and they're facing the number 1 back in the game. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to factor in Josh. Is he going to hold it? Is he going to hold on to it? You got to factor in this big old line. You got to factor in James Cook. I tell you right now, the Bills are going to run over 100 yards on these boys that keep holding these. James Cook is going to have his game, and I love the Jags. I love what the Jags have done all year, but there's something about Josh in the playoffs, and the run game is going to set the tone. And don't forget, Bills Mafia, we travel extremely well. It ain't going to feel like it's Duval. It's going to feel like a home game for us. And Josh, and this is the thing I was going to try to tell y'all, don't fall for this. There's no Lamar and there's no Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow hasn't made the playoffs in 3 years. He's never been a factor in the first place, right? There's no Lamar. There's no Pat Mahomes. Bro, we still got to face the Texas defense. We still got to face, you know what I'm saying? Those are good deep. And you saw what the Texans did to us this year? Them boys got to us, right? You still got to face a Denver defense that's pretty damn good. We faced them last year. We sent them packing last year. But all that means absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, it's who doesn't give the ball away. Right now, the Jaguars are very opportunistic. 22 picks in the air. Listen, they're like that.
Top 5 in
right?
the league at that too.
Yep.
Yeah, and shout out to my man Jason Lewis saying Rico's delusional. Wait till the Bills. Wait till the Bills walk all over Duval. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna go in their yard. We're gonna stomp the yard, go in their trap, take over the trap, and walk back in. That's
Hey,
all I'm saying. Fake.
if you new to the show, welcome. Hey, this is Rico, man. This is our guy.
Listen,
Hey,
walk in their trap, take their trap, and it's your boy. And I'm
Yes, sir.
all right, Rico.
All right. Cool, man. Hey, we appreciate Rico, y'all. Again, he's on Bleacher Report with us as well. He covers the Buffalo Bills. We cover the Titans. That's our guy, man. That's our guy.
We got to check on Engraving, too, to make sure Engraving is cool, man.
Yeah, I know. That's right.
I know he probably punching the air right now. Engraving, if you ain't watched the show in a while, bro, I know it's been a while. We thinking about you, bro.
Yeah.
We understand what you're going through, dog.
That's
So
right.
shout out to our peoples, man. Those are our peoples. If you're new to the show, man, we used to do this heavy where we would have collaboration shows with the teams that we're facing that week. So Rico, man, the Buffalo Bills, when we were playing them on a heavy basis, he was one of our main guys that would come on our show, and we would give our stuff and he would give him stuff. So our OG weekly family, they know that. Our new weekly family, hey, and you know how we might one day need to get back to that. I know we become super busy throughout these years. But we probably have to do a show or two with one of our peoples, man, to kind of just get back in the fray.
For
so
sure.
It was some good times, dog. So
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
But we were talking about Van Joseph.
Vance Joseph. Yep.
We were talking about Vance Joseph. Go ahead, talk to me, Hulk. I'm a no on Vance. That's just me personally.
A no on Vance. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Vance Joseph. All right. The defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. Now, when I tell you, no matter where he's been on defense, he's been unbelievable. And Denver's defense, I saw right off the rip when the Titans played them game one. I was like, oh, yeah, Denver's defense is real. And, you know, you have guys even going from last year to this year. Denver's defense, when you talk about a blitzing defense, that's what he does. And he's been around for a very long time. He has coached for 21 seasons, okay? He has coached under Wade Phillips, Michael Singletary, Marvin Lewis, Sean Payton. So he's been around incredible people. The one thing I like about Vance Joseph is he's done real well when it comes like to the secondary, like defensive backs and things like that. He has guys playing out of their mind on DB. You can put anybody at DB, and he really is more like a Blitzburg type of a defense. That's how he plays. That's how he coaches. And I would think that, you know, I think right now, like, it depends on the OC.
Mm-hmm.
I am at a yes at Vance Joseph.
Okay.
I think he has to have the right people around him on offense. I think he's going to get the absolute best out of the team. I think he'll definitely do that. I think you'll even see Jeffrey Simmons. He's already dominant, but he's about to go to a next level. And you have corners like Marcus Harris and those guys. And you might have guys that have played for Vance Joseph in the past that might want to come through and play for the Titans. I think he could build that. I think this guy could be a really good coach. But my concern is bringing other people around him. I think I'm at a yes of Vance Joseph. I'm at a yes. All right. Cool. All right. So what do we got? What do we have on there for Vance Joseph? Let's see. We got a no. Okay. No on Vance. No on Vance. Let's see here. What else I got on Vance Joseph?
Lake Show
says no on Vance.
Yeah. I think it's a consensus of no.
Yes, facts.
Yes. No.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. So that was Vance Joseph. All right. Shout out to everybody watching us as well, man. Listen, smash that like button, man. You know, hit the like button as well, too, and everything. And we appreciate everybody watching the show. All right. So the next coach that I have, Jacques, and I actually was going to bring him up anyway. And I see a lot of people already got his name up there because we're on the defensive coordinator realm.
Right.
Is Robert Saleh. All right. Robert Saleh. All right. This guy is an interesting candidate, if you ask me. All right. Now, as you all know, he was the head coach for the New York Jets several years ago. You know, that was a time when Zach Wilson was his quarterback. You know, they were not a good football team. But let me tell you what I really like about Robert Saleh. Unlike Vance Joseph, where I feel Vance Joseph has talent on defense, I honestly don't think Robert Saleh has a lot of talent on the 49er defense, and they play unbelievable. They don't have a lot of quarterback sacks, but man, their defense, the 49ers are being coached better than any team in the league. When you look at Kyle Shanahan, and you look at Robert Saleh, the way that they have the 49ers playing, you got, you got Brock Purdy looking like Joe Montana, and you got the defense looking like the 49er defense of old. And Robert Saleh is a guy that continues to push his team. And I think as well, too, no matter where he goes, he's going to build up the defense. He did that with the Jets. Because, Jacques, I told you, when I was in New York and I saw the Titans play the Jets were trash. They had no offense. They had Zach Wilson at quarterback. Corey Davis is wide receiver 1. But Derrick Henry's out there getting popped. And the defense is jumping all around. I said, man, Robert Saleh got them boys. He got them boys playing. So, Robert Saleh, I would say, was not a success as a head coach. But like you've mentioned before, Jacques, we look at Mike Vrabel and those things, coming back as a coach, and maybe could be an opportunity to get a second chance. Just like Vance Joseph, who in the hell is going to be your offensive coordinator? That's the next question. So I am going to say, if he has a good offensive coordinator, I'm at a yes on Robert Saleh for me. At a yes. What about you, Jacques?
And the positives, man. He's the commander, man. He commands attention. He's the commander of men. He reminds me of Vrabel. Somebody said in the comment section. He also reminds me of Dan Campbell. You can tell you can get him motivated. It's just he was with the Jets, man. The Jets is a team. It's like every coach that goes there is like a curse.
Yes.
If, like, to your point, if he can get his OC right and he gets that second stint, you can tell he's a type of person that's like, hey, if I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna do it right this time, right?
Thanks.
And it'll be a nice rivalry between him and Liam Cohen from the Jacksonville Jaguars, because you can tell they don't like each other.
They hate each other.
So it'll just add spice to it, to the point where these two do not like each other. And I know for a fact, if he got another chance, he will build a better staff, right? Yep. Like you said, from a defensive minded perspective. And I think people look at defensive coaches like they don't know offense. Think about it as a defensive player, yourself, myself. We have to study offenses, right? You have to study an offense. So shout out to Texas head coach. He said the exact same thing. If you bring him in today, he'll get the fan base motivated. He'll get the players motivated. He'll demand excellence from them. I am yes. He was actually on my list, one of my lists. So yeah, I am in on Robert. Yeah, go ahead, sign me up.
Okay,
sign me up.
Okay, we got two on Robert Saleh, and we got another super chat, by the way. Titan South in the building. Titan South. Let me get my picture here that I got to do here. Here we go. Can't find the damn thing. It's fine. Here you go. Titan South. Do.
Boom.
Titan South in the building. Hey, we appreciate it, Titan South, once again. He says, Robert Saleh has a great football mentality, no lie. We totally agree with that. So I think, again, Jacques is at a yes. I'm at a yes as well. Let's see, who do we have? We got Stevie B at a yes. Team Leader's a yes. Brian Grover's a yes. Wow. Mm-hmm. Alex Manns is a yes. Bethany is a yes. Yeah, man. Saleh, Tennessee. Yep. Okay. We are at a yes for Robert Saleh. Wow. Okay. There's only been 3 coaches that has been a consensus yes. John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy, Robert Saleh. Okay. All right. Jason Lewis says hell yes. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay.
Yes,
all right. Jacques, who you got for us, bro?
Man, I'm trying to bounce back. Let me see. I'm gonna go Raheem Morris.
Okay. All right.
Raheem Morris.
I don't have his picture on here. Keep going. I'll find and pull it. I'll pull his picture up there. All right.
Raheem will be interviewing. I think he is in route to interview with the Titans. He just got fired from the Falcons. I think it's just his second stint with the Falcons. How do you get a second time with a team and you're still not successful? The knock I got on Raheem Morris, he's a better coordinator. He's a hell of a coordinator, right? Yeah. Hell of a coordinator. But when it comes to being a head coach, especially his second stint, and he kind of still hasn't learned from his first stint. He had a talented Falcons team. And I think, to be honest with you, I think the Falcons should have gave him another year to find his quarterback.
Yes, sir.
But Michael Penix getting hurt, they did win some games. And I think it's just from a culture perspective, he wants to go in a different direction. And then, too, his leadership is like, it if that makes sense. You need somebody to come here that's going to command excellence. That's going to demand their players to be excellent. So for me, I'm out on Morris as a head coach because again, this will be his third stint. But I am intrigued about him as a coordinator. So I'm no as a head coach, but a coordinator, hell yeah, sign me up.
Okay.
What about you?
All right. So Raheem Morris, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, who was just fired. He wasn't even fired on Black Monday. He was fired on Black Sunday, the day before. As soon as the game was over, they said, hey, bro, we'll holler at you. They fired him and the GM, right? It's like, wow, on the same day. All right. But like I said, it doesn't mean he's not a bad coach. I mean, it just happens, you know. And Raheem Morris, I think he did his absolute best as the defensive coordinator for the LA Rams. And the Rams won a Super Bowl during that time frame. So he had success there. Raheem Morris, you know, he is set to interview. He will be interviewed by the Titans. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. And we've mentioned several defensive coordinators. And it looks like the Titans are really interviewing those type of guys. I mean, Mike McCarthy, Mike McDaniel, they're getting interviewed. They're offensive guys. But, you know, Raheem Morris, I think it's going to be hard for him in an interview. Because first of all, again, he's a great defensive coordinator. And he's a great team's coach. Like, I hadn't heard players talk bad about Raheem Morris. There were players that were sad to see him fired in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, when he left and things like that. So I think he's a really good coach and is a good person in general. I think what's going to be tough for Raheem Morris is the competition that we've just named, right? When you look at an interview, if somebody's interviewing him to say, listen, man, you've had Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins. You have Jesse Bates. You have drafted Pierce and these guys. You got AJ Terrell. You have talent around you. You have that. What are you going to do about it? And he didn't do well with the team. And I know quarterback was an issue, but to be a head coach right now, we need a coach that can supersede and really work through that. The NFC South was a bad division. He didn't win in that division. The Tampa Bay Bucks have won 4 years in a row. I feel Atlanta had more talent outside of quarterback. I felt Atlanta was the most talented team in the NFC South. He couldn't win the NFC South. I'm at a no at Raheem Morris. What do you all think in the comment section on Raheem Morris? Let's see. We got Jason who said, I don't know. Stevie B is not impressed. Tennessee Set 738 says Morris as a D coordinator, not a head coach. Bethany says yes. Okay. Let's see here. Tights out. We spoke about Stefanski earlier. I was at a no. Jacques was at a yes, and the Weekly Family said no. Let's see. No as a head coach. So I'm getting the vibe for Raheem Morris as a no. Okay, fair enough. Okay, all right. So that's Raheem Morris. All right, let's get to this guy. Jacques, I'm sure you're going to want to talk about this guy of most of the guys that we've brought up here is Mr. Cliff Kingsbury. All right, Cliff Kingsbury. Y'all tell me what y'all think about Cliff Kingsbury. All right, so Cliff Kingsbury, as you all know, offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. He actually resigned. He didn't get fired. He resigned. He wants an opportunity to be a head coach. He used to be the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. When he had Kyler Murray, and actually Kyler Murray played his absolute best under Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury also had Caleb Williams. But I think you look at some of the biggest quarterbacks he's had. He had Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech. He was the head coach at Texas Tech. And Patrick Mahomes, had him. And then, again, Jaden Daniels, before the injuries he had this year, Jaden Daniels played out of his mind. Probably the best rookie in NFL history. He was a big part of that. Baker Mayfield was a successor to him as well, too. So when you talk about quarterbacks, Cliff Kingsbury's him. He's him. And, when I think of Cam Ward, I think that, Cam Ward is a quarterback. You get a coach that can help him develop, put him in the right situation, Cam Ward can succeed. And I would tell you, in my opinion, of most of these coaches, I would feel more confident with Cliff Kingsbury than any coach that we've named as far as working strictly with Cam Ward. Now, I don't know as far as others, but look what he did even with Marcus Mariota with the Commanders, right? Marcus Mariota came in as a backup and did well. So Washington just wasn't talented. They had a lot of injuries. Their defense was terrible. And it just, they just didn't do well. I think for Cliff Kingsbury, for me, I'm at a yes for Cliff Kingsbury. I'm at a yes for Kingsbury. What about you, Jacques?
Now, you know, I've been preaching from the mountaintops for him and Mike McCarthy since we fired him. And it's strictly for Cam Ward's development. As you've iterated, the resume that this Joker got when it comes to developing quarterbacks is I've never seen nothing like it. And the stint that he had with Arizona, Arizona had talent, but I think first year head coaches tend to get in their head a lot.
Yep.
And they tend to get in their head where they think they have to do everything and be in every meeting, in every room, and every a set stint. I believe Cliff can kind of get it together. He's like, hey, this is where I made my mistakes. I would trust him he can call his own offense. He's one coach that I would not trip out, him and Mike McCarthy, if they call their offense. I'd be like, you know what? Do your thing, bro.
Yes, sir.
You just got to find a hell of a defensive coordinator, maybe a Raheem Morris or Vance Joseph. I ain't leaving, I know that. But maybe a Raheem Morris, right? You could say, and the thing about Raheem Morris, I'm going to go back to him. I'm tell you why I'm going to go back to him. He probably won't get another head coaching job, but a defensive coordinator, he will be here forever if we did hire him as a DC. So if we hired him as a defensive coordinator, he will be here, okay? And so for Cliff Kingsbury, I am definitely a hell yeah with him. Sign me up because what he's been able to do from a developmental standpoint when it comes to quarterbacks. Now, building pieces around him, I think that's where he'll have to learn. It's like, hey, he needs this. He needs this. Now, that's why he won't have the control to do that. Right. That's why you have a Berganzi to say, okay, hey, we're going to get you the best tools for you to win to where you can be successful, right?
Yep.
But right now, I think the biggest thing is Cam's development. It's like if you can get him developed and then you can get the right DC in here, again, from a Raheem Moore standpoint, because Raheem, to me, is not getting another head coaching job, you're stamped. You're stamped for a while. You don't have to worry about him leaving. And you call your offense, we don't have to worry about any of our staff really leaving.
Yep.
You solidify for the next 6 years, 7 years, or whatever. So, I mean, yes for me.
Okay, Jacques. Good deal. All right, cool. All right, so we have Bethany at a yes. Tennessee 738 says, I'm not a fan. Okay. Titan South says yes. Joe Blacko says yes. Let's see. Team leader says yes. Stevie B says yes. Jay Burke says yes. Brian Grover says yes. Wow. Okay. He's an absolute yes in everybody's book here. Okay. All right. So we got a yes for Cliff Kingsbury. All right. So the 4 unanimous votes is John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy, Robert Saleh, and Cliff Kingsbury. And it's interesting. 2 offensive coaches, 2 defensive coaches. Interesting. All right. You got any more, Jacques?
I do. I got
yes,
one.
Sir. Let's go.
And Titans fans are familiar with this one. It's Arthur Smith. So he will be getting an interview with the Tennessee Titans.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Arthur did a stint with this. I think it was. Now he's offensive coordinator for the Steelers. He was a head coach for the Atlanta Falcons when he left us.
Yep.
And when I always judge you off of when you were a head coach, and what Arthur Smith has been able to do is remarkable from an offensive coordinator perspective. Right, went from a tight ends coach to an OC, then got a job as a head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. The thing is, that to me would not move the fan base, in my opinion. Can he command the locker room? In my opinion, he's okay because I'm judging him what he did with Atlanta. And his stint with Atlanta was definitely subpar at best.
Yeah.
And I think he only did maybe 2 years there. And I know a lot of Atlanta Falcons fans wasn't feeling him. And I tried to tell him, like, as a head coach, no, but as a coordinator, yes. So for me, it's a no. From my offensive coordinator perspective, I would entertain it. It's not my first choice, but I would entertain it. But as a head coach, nah, I'm good. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper, Jacques. For Arthur Smith, so he was the coach there for 3 seasons for the Falcons. And that last year with the Atlanta Falcons, he was 7-10, right? And when I tell you the Atlanta Falcon fans were so pissed off at Arthur Smith, bro. And I understood that. If I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I don't know if anyone's watching the show that's an Atlanta Falcon. I feel for y'all because Atlanta drafts well. They draft well. They have players, right? And, I don't know, it's the coach or it's the culture. I don't know what it is. But Arthur Smith did not do a good job as the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. I thought he could have done better. He started off very strong early. You can definitely tell he's an offensive mind. But from a leadership standpoint, as a head coach, I still think Arthur Smith needs more work as a coach to be a head coach. He's been around for some years now. He's been around 15 years. And when he was with the Tennessee Titans, ladies and gentlemen, he was a great offensive coordinator. He was arguably the best OC that we've had here in a long time. Like, I give him his credit. And he knew how to utilize Derrick Henry, Jonnu Smith and those guys. AJ Brown, he knew exactly what to do, and had Ryan Tannehill look like a Hall of Fame out there, right? So I give him that. And lately, the Pittsburgh Steelers have won 4 games in a row, okay? And without DK Metcalf the last 2 games, with a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. So he's doing a great job from a scheme standpoint. But, but when he was OC here, he was under Mike LaFleur and Matt LaFleur and then Mike Vrabel. So he did good here. But I just need to see more out of him to be a head coach for an entire organization. I'm at a no for Arthur Smith.
Okay.
All right, cool. We got a super chat, by the way. Stevie B says, thanks for considering our opinion. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, you all the reason this show rocks, man. You know what I mean? We appreciate it, man, for real. So, Stevie B. Boom! Stevie B in the building. We appreciate it, Stevie B.
Yes, sir. And we value everybody's opinion, man. This your opinion. We definitely going to shine you, brother. So we appreciate that super chat.
That's right. All right, let's see Arthur Smith. Joe Blacko says, I'm okay with the author, not excited. So if there's any lukewarm, we're going to say no. Because we don't want, you know what I'm saying? I feel you on that. We're going to count that as a no. All right. Rodney LeGrone says no, absolutely not. Jason Lewis, no. Brian Grover, no. Tennessee 373888 said no. Bethany says no. Team leader says no. Man, I see nothing but no's on this one. All right. So a no on Arthur Smith. Okay. All right. That's a good one, Jacques. All right. So for me, let's look at Money Mike. Let's look at Money Mike. Mike McDaniel. Okay. Now, as you might know, Mike McDaniel was fired from the Miami. Oh, we got a super chat. All right. Titan South in the building.
Boom.
Titan South in the building. Said Chad Brigham looks like Brock Lesnar.
I told you.
Yeah,
I told you. I
yep.
told you. He looked like Brock, bro. He looked just like Brock Lesnar, bro.
He looks just like that Joker, man. He does.
Oh,
all right.
man.
Mike McDaniel. All right, let me tell you about this guy here. All right. Mike McDaniel has been in the NFL a long time as well. He's been around the league for almost 20 years. Okay. And many people might not realize that. He's coached under Kyle Shanahan, so he was a ball boy at one point in time and then he moved up and, he learned this guy, when you talk about play action and those things, oh man, he might be the best in the league at that. This guy here offensively was unbelievable, in his coaching stint. And even for the Miami Dolphins, he had the Dolphins to go to the playoffs, I think his first year or so. He had Miami playing at a very high level with Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa, those guys. He did a very good job in the offense and sort of had a new school way of coaching. He come to practice with Air Force Ones. I mean, he was literally Miami Mike as the head coach, right? And so when I look at Tua, again, I'm thinking Cam Ward. Tua has a lot of issues with his health. Okay, that's first and foremost. And I think that I'm about to say Mike McCoy. I'm saying Mike McDaniels, I felt, did the absolute best he could do with Tua and the talent that was around him. I really think, man, he had a kind of a cool attitude. But Jacques, I said this years ago. It's cool right now because they're winning. Mm-hmm. When you're losing, that ain't cool anymore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I think, my frozen? Okay, my bad. I didn't know if I was frozen. I don't know if that's going to work here in Tennessee. We don't need cool. We need, hey, I need this. We need to work here. I think he could develop Cam Ward. I think Cam has better tools than Tua. Tua's a very accurate quarterback. I'll give Tua that. But I think he has more to work with Cam Ward. But I think right now to rebuild and remodel this team, you can't be LA cool, Miami cool. We need more out of you as a head coach. I like Mike McDaniel a lot. He's got an interview as well with the Titans today, actually. I'm at a no for Mike McDaniels. What about you, Jacques?
So to your point, his resume is ridiculous, man. He's been with some good coaches as well. And he comes from a decent coaching tree. And he understands quarterbacks. He understands offense. He understands offensive schemes. But to your point, my biggest knock on him, and you took the words right out of my mouth, facts, no paper. Can he command the locker room? Nah.
Right.
In Miami, that worked. It did, but I just don't think he has that oomph that you need to say, "Hey, sit your down, let's go. I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Right.
You don't like what I'm saying? It is what it is." And that's what the team wants. It's not like they need it; they want to have that style of coaching.
Yep.
And when you don't have that style of coaching, and you got a chill coach like Mike McDaniel, we don't need that right now. Now, if we had a complete team, we already had a culture built, then I say yeah. Sometimes again, your second stint, but as an OC, for
Yep.
sure, if he doesn't get a head coaching job somewhere, which I think a team will take a shot on him, if he doesn't, you better call him ASAP and say, "Hey, do
Absolutely.
you want this OC job? I
Absolutely.
got you right now.
Yep.
Bring it. We gonna go. I
Yep.
got you. You can develop Cam, and then in the future, which I'm not saying he'll get another stint, but in the future, if you want to, cool. But as a quarterback guy, an offensive coordinator, and a scheme, bring him tomorrow. You need to hire him today.
Yep.
As a head coach, that's not what the Titans need right now. I'm sorry.
Yep. That's
Titans
right.
need a Vrabel. They need an a-hole right now to get this thing. And you got to match your quarterback. I know people were making jokes like, well, him and Cam would be funny together, so forth and so forth. But I'm like, now Cam is a funny guy, but Cam commands a room. Like Cam, he wants excellence. You see what he had Miami's was it the D tackle that he had scared when he walked into the building? He was like, "Oh, Cam, I got to get my shit together."
That's right.
So OC for me, yes. Head coach, no.
Gotcha, man.
Yeah.
Alex Mann with the super chat. So I think he's saying exactly what you just said, and I feel the exact same way on this as well. Alex Mann's,
Boom.
Alex Mann's in the building. So Jacques, I'm gonna look at the comments. Honestly, bro, I actually would have him as the number one offensive coordinator choice, in my opinion.
Yes.
Cliff Kingsbury for sure, but Cliff Kingsbury is not going for an OC job. He's going for a head coaching job. I would say Cliff Kingsbury, but I don't think he's going to be available. You know what I mean? So let's see what we got for Mike McDaniel. So we got a yes. Diligence to say I'll consider, but especially okay, same. All right. Stevie B says yes. Number 2, okay. Let's see. Not sure if Cam is a fit for a system. We understand that, Joe Blacko. I agree with that. And I don't know. I think Mike McDaniel would be all right here as an OC. Yep. Let's see. Mike is a stoner. No on head coach. No on head coach. It's half and half. It's half and half. All right. The next one that come through for Mike McDaniel, that'll be the tiebreaker. Okay, we got one. No, there it is. No. All right. Mike McDaniels, no. Thank you, Big Bad JS. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, Titan South, we've heard that too. But Mike Munchak is an OL coach. He wants to come back to the Tennessee Titans to coach the offensive line. I'll be all for it, bro. I'll be all for it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Jacques, you got any more coaches? Well, hey,
I do.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I got another one. Now, this one is interesting because we need experience, but I'm very intrigued. Chris Shula, right? The grandson of the legendary Don Shula, right? Of course, the story behind him is him and Sean McVay I think they were roommates or something crazy like that when they played in college together. And throughout his coaching stint, he's been with the Rams the entire time as an assistant linebackers coach, a pass game coordinator, a defensive backs coach. He's defense. The thing I like about him is he comes from a Sean McVay tree, right?
Yep.
And we talk about the Bill Belichick tree. We talk about the Nick Saban tree. Sean McVay is starting to build a tree, okay? Yep. And the tree is starting to branch out. The thing I like about Shula, even though he's a coordinator, he brings a lot of that knowledge from Sean McVay. A lot of those mannerisms from Sean McVay.
Yes.
Some of those, you like, hey, you feel like Sean McVay. And I feel to the point where the Rams defense is cold, bro. Okay, I'm just going to say it. They're solid. They're solid. They got the one corner that everybody wrote off. They got him playing like a Deion Sanders out there.
Yep.
He got Roger McCreary, right? I am very intrigued. If I had to make a choice, and I'm not on coordinators right now, he would be one of my choices. And I feel the connections that he has and Sean McVay's connections, they would put together a staff that we would be like, wow. And I know he can bring in an offensive guy that I'll be like, wow. And I guarantee you, him and Mike McDaniel probably knows each other. He'll bring them in. So with Shula, I'm actually in on Shula, and it's crazy to
Okay.
say that, but I am. What about you, Hawk?
Okay. All right.
Very intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Facts, no paper. All right. So Chris Shula, the grandson of Don Shula. That's his grandbaby right there, right? And to your point, the LA Rams defense is unbelievable. And they got guys flying all over the field. He runs an incredible defense. He plays a lot of zone. That's where the Rams succeed at that 3-4. They run a zone-heavy defense, and it's been amazing. And he schemes perfectly. And when you've been around the Sean McVays, he even coached under Wade Phillips. So, he has that, in his experience. And he's been around for 10 to 11 years. He's been around for a few years himself in different roles and things like that. And from my understanding, Shula's very well respected within the league as well. And Sean McVay allows him to call the defense. Sean McVay has nothing to do with the defense. He's like, hey, Shula, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. All right. So for me, those are huge positives for me for Shula. And I think he runs one of the best defensive systems in the league. The Rams are incredible. But I would say for me right now for Shula, I think he needs a few more, maybe another year or two of experience at this level as the defensive coordinator. I think he's been the D coordinator for 2 years. I'd like to see him, to coach a little bit longer to see if he can sustain the success as a defensive coordinator to end up being a head coach for an entire football team, right? And I think, too, the issue he's going to have is the competition in front of him. You know what I mean? He's got folks who've been around and things like that, who've been head coaches or who've been coordinators a lot longer than him that has had success. It doesn't mean that he can't be successful. But I think to pick one coach, for me, for the Titans, it has to be a flat-out absolute, right? So for me, for Chris Shula, I'm at a no for Chris Shula. All right. So let's see what we got in the comment section for Chris Shula. Let's see what we got. Oh, man, we got some yeses, Jock. Alex Mans is a yes. Diligence 2 is a yes. I think the Rams are going 35. Okay. Shula's interested. Yes, he is interested. No to Shula. Jay Burks is in on Shula. Yeah, I saw Tampa Bay interviewing Brian Callahan for the OC job. I did see that. Yes for him. Yeah, okay. So we got Chris Shula as a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. Good deal.
I'm telling you, it's intriguing because of where he's coming from.
Yes,
and
sir.
I think that's what's pulling my strings. I'm like, you coming from a decent system, man. And if I have to give a coordinator a chance, he would be it. So
makes sense. I got you, man.
What you got for me, Hawk?
Okay, so speaking of coordinators, we are going Clint Kubiak. All right, Clint Kubiak. All right. So, hey, first of all, shout out to everybody. If you're not hit the like button, man, do that now. Again, you can follow us here on Bleacher Report and on YouTube. We're out there, y'all. Hey, we appreciate everybody watching the show, man. Hey, we got a lot of people still rocking with us. Hey, first of all, I hope you all are having fun. And more than anything, I hope you all are learning what these coaches. We've done our studies. We've done our research here, y'all. And we just want to be as honest as we can. We want the Tennessee Titans to succeed. We want them to get the best coach available. We're here. We're rocking. All right. So, Clint Kubiak, who is the current offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, when you look at the Seattle Seahawks, when you look at their offense is playing incredible right now. And he has this offense moving. He's got Jackson Smith-Njigba leading the NFL in receiving. He's got Sam Darnold playing out of his mind. He's got Kenneth Walker over 1,000 yards. The Seattle Seahawks on offense is been great. Now, of course, his dad is Gary Kubiak, looks just like his pops, and he's coached under Kyle Shanahan, right? So Kubiak has made a name for himself in the league. And, when you look at it, with Kubiak, he used to coach with the San Francisco 49ers. He's been with Houston. So he has a lot of experience. And I think the biggest positive of him is his offense. And he runs a multifaceted offense. There's a lot of play action. He gets the running back involved and everything like that. And I think he plays to his strengths as well, too. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll work very well for Cam Ward. And he's not afraid to dial up big plays, man. We saw that when we played the Seahawks. He looks to go deep, man, when he throws the football. And that's something that is a strength of Cam Ward, especially deep middle. And I think that could be something that he can do very well. When I look at this guy as well, too, from an experience standpoint, he's been the OC there for 2 years. And so very similar to what I'm saying about Shula. I'm not saying he can't ever be a coach, but I want somebody that's got some grit in the game to be the head coach for the Tennessee Titans. I like Kubiak as an OC, but he's already an OC, so that ain't going to happen. He's going to go for a head coaching position. I like his offensive explosive plays that he's done, but I need to see more, and I need to see more consistency. I'm at a no for Clint Kubiak. What about you, Jacques?
So again, the resume speaks for itself, man. He was with the Broncos, the Vikings, and every stint that he's been, even with New Orleans Saints when he had Derek Carr. He had Derek Carr playing under. I think that year maybe Derek Carr almost threw for like 4,000 or something crazy like that. He has the quarterbacks playing at a high level. He's another one that if you can hire him, he will call his own offense. And do I trust him to do it? Yes, I do. He's another one that if I have to give a coordinator a chance, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
have to give him a chance, I would say yes.
Yes,
He's
sir.
another one that I trust. And he
Okay.
comes from a coaching tree, a la Kyle Shanahan, where he has learned some things. He has learned, and he'll have good men. His dad was pretty good. Gary Kubiak was solid when he was with the Texans. I mean, it was annoying because he was pretty decent.
Yep.
And when I look at Kubiak, I'm like, hey, your resume, you building a resume, and you got Sam Darnold playing at a high level like this.
Yep.
When you got him playing at a high level, that really speaks wonders, especially with a team like the Giants. I'll look at the Giants, for example, that need somebody to develop a Jackson Dart. He would be perfect for that role. The thing is the experience. Can he lead men, right?
Yep.
Can he? And I think with these Shula, I think Shula more than Kubiak, I think Clint would need mentorship. I think he would need to bring in a consultant like a Jason Garrett or somebody that can really, or his dad. He can even bring his dad back and be like, hey, how would you do this? How would you do that? Shula, I trust Shula more because of his demeanor.
Yes,
and
sir.
I trust Shula more to say, okay, Shula going to demand some respect out of these jokers. Kubiak's demeanor reminds me of, I'm not going to say Callahan, but sort of Callahan. Like he's real chill. He's cool.
Yep.
He's going to yell at you, but I mean, he's more X's and O's. He's more smart. He's like, okay, hey, do what you do. So me on Kubiak, I'm actually in. I'll entertain it. I will say yes. I will say yes. Like I said, out of all the coordinators, if I got to give two people a shot, those are the two. Those are my only two. I want experience. Experience chomps this up here.
Yep.
But for me, yeah, I'll say
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. All right. Team leader said he's having fun. That's great. She or he. I appreciate it, team leader. All right. Joe Blacko says yes on Clint. Okay. All right. We got, let's see. There's Joe Blacko again. Jay Burke says no. Ocho Man says Callahan 2.0, just like you said. Alex Mann says no. No more father and son. Oh my gosh, that's funny. And let's see, team leader said no. Okay. All right. It looks like a no for Kubiak. All right. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Okay. Jacques, I'm ready for you got another one? I'm ready. We going round from round here. I'm ready. You got anybody else?
Talk to me. So you said, do I have anybody else? Yep. Do you have anybody else?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Talk to me.
All right. So I'm going to talk about Jesse Minter from the LA Chargers. All right. So for those who might not know a lot about Minter, he is literally going for a head coaching position as well. Jesse Minter is the defensive coordinator for the LA Chargers. When I tell y'all the Chargers on defense is no joke, man. Hey, Minter got these boys playing right. Okay. And the Chargers are in the playoffs in a very tough division in the AFC West. The Chargers have had more injuries than any team in the NFL, and they're in the playoffs. And I give him a lot of credit. And his defense, he's a zone-heavy defense. When we play the Chargers, when you play against them, ask the Kansas City Chiefs this season, ask us, ask teams, boy, they run that zone great. And he's very, when it comes to the defense, he runs a 3-4. He doesn't blitz a lot, but he plays great in zone, and he has his players playing well. And more than anything, he has a lot of former Titans on his defense that are playing well. You know what I mean? That's what's so crazy. He got, you got Bud Dupree, You got the DB.
You talking about Eric Molden?
Yes, Molden. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Eric Molden out. Yeah, Molden out there. You know what I'm saying? So so when you look at him, he used to be with the Ravens under John Harbaugh. He used to be there. He's been there as well with Mike McDonald. You know what I'm saying? So he has a lot of energy. He's a young guy. He's a fiery guy, and he's bright. He's one of the good young coordinators out there on defense. And I think as well, too, when you look at guys like Derwin James and those guys, Khalil Mack is playing at an all-pro level. He's 35 years old. You know what I mean? And he's got them playing to the best of their ability. Derwin James out there popping people, man. And so I think he's going to draw interest. He's a defensive guy. He's young. I don't think he's ready yet. I think he still needs some more experience. I would choose Shula and Kubiak over Minter. But for right now, I'm at a no for Mike Minter. What about you, Jacques?
I'm with you. I think
Jesse Minter. Sorry, Jesse Minter.
Yeah. I think he's got a young career right now. He's been with the Ravens. He had a lot of college stints. He was in college a lot before he got to the Ravens. Yeah. And when you go down his resume, man, literally, man, he was with Michigan, Vanderbilt, Georgia State, Indiana State. So he made his ranks in the college, and then Baltimore got him, and then ultimately got this role with the DC with the Chargers. Yeah. But it's just right now, I think he's too young in his career. Yeah. He's going to get an opportunity to interview. But I think if a team takes a chance on him, you're taking a humongous risk.
Yep.
Taking a humongous risk because of the experience piece. He needs at least 2 to 3, maybe 4 more years to where the Chargers are consistent in defense.
Yep.
And they're consistently being top 10, top 5. Then you can consider him. He gets life experiences too, because to me, when I look at Minter, is he a leader of men? No, in my opinion. So as a coordinator, he's learning. Even if you brought him as a coordinator, I still think he's learning. So I think he needs more time to develop. And when you have a coaching bucket like this, nah, bro, it's not your time. So just sit down, continue to learn, do what you do. That's a no for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So we got Big Bad says no. Diligent says no. Yeah, Molden. Elijah Molden. Yes, Elijah Molden. Yeah. So, and Elijah Molden was really good with the Titans. I mean, I remember his dad when he played for the New Orleans Saints. Eric Molden, his father, played the very same, but he's playing out of his mind with the Chargers. And you know who else is doing well? Tier Tart. You see what I'm saying? He got former Titans out there playing very well for them. So I give him that. You know what I mean? So we got Stevie B at a no, Jay Burks at a no, Andre Bunton as a no. So it looks like a no for Minter. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So there are other coaches out there that you all might not know much about. I could just really quickly bring them up. And then there are going to be 2 coaches that I really want to talk about that I think should draw interest that we need to discuss. All right. So we talked about, many coaches. I think, you got Todd Monken, who is the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. He's been around for a long time and everything. This guy is a vertical passing coordinator, could help Cam Ward. That's one guy. I know we've as well too, man. We got Brian Flores, who I think will have a lot of interest as well as a coach. I do think that y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I do think, with the lawsuit that he has, I think the Tennessee Titans are part of that lawsuit. So that's why we didn't bring him up, because I don't think that would be a situation. I don't know. They might interview him or not. I'm not sure. But we had him. We have Lou Anarumo, who is the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. I think that could be, an opportunity there based on what he did this year. With their offense, is plugging in guys like Daniel Jones, and he's looking, like a freaking Pro Bowl out there with him at quarterback. And then Sean McDermott, we talked about the Buffalo Bills. The likelihood of him getting fired is probably slim to none. But man, I won't be surprised. Let Buffalo lose with the fact that this is an opportunity for them to do something. Let them lose. I wouldn't be shocked if Sean McDermott got fired. Man, it's the NFL, man. You got David Shaw. You got him as well for the Detroit Lions. That's a candidate as well, too, the former Stanford coach who's done pretty well with the Detroit Lions. So those are other guys that are drawing some interest. They don't have any interviews set yet, but there's just rumors that these guys. So Jacques, I'm going to ask you, we're going to go 2 coaches here, y'all, and I want y'all honest opinion on these guys. The first one, Jacques, Matt LaFleur. All right. Now, we are assuming that the only way he'd be a head coach is if the Green Bay Packers lose first round and they decide to go somewhere else and then they let go Matt LaFleur. Is it possible? Yes, I do think so. I do think he's on the hot seat. I do. So what do you think about Matt LaFleur? Everybody else in the comments, y'all let me know as well.
Man, I actually like Matt LaFleur, man, especially what he's been able to do with Jordan Love and Malik Willis, right? The development that he's been able to garner with him.
Yeah.
He's gotten the Green Bay Packers playing at a high level. And his offensive mind is ridiculous. When he was here, he was balling. Okay. He had the Titans offense rolling. And do I think he'll have him a better quarterback in Cam? And I'm not saying Jordan Love is good, because Jordan Love is good, right? But I think Jordan Love has a ceiling too. And it's getting to the point where he can't stay healthy. I am in on Matt LaFleur. And I think Matt would want to come back home. Well, not home, but you know what I mean. He would want to come to Nashville to coach a young quarterback like Cam. And I think I know his offensive system and his scheme will fit Cam immediately. So I am all in. He can command a locker room. I give Matt his credit. Yes, I am in on Matt. Man, sign me up. If we get fired tomorrow, interview him. Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Shout out to team leader. You're correct. I made a mistake on Lou Memo from the Colts. He is the defensive coordinator. I said offensive coordinator. That is absolutely correct. He's a very good defensive coordinator. Apologize. Okay, so Matt LaFleur, even his brother Mike LaFleur might get some looks as well. He's the LA Rams offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? His brother, right? So, and we'll see. We'll see about that for his brother. So, I would disagree on one thing you said, Jacques. I felt though he got promoted to head coach. So I will agree with you on that part, right? From the Titans, right? He got promoted to head coach. So that says a lot. Did. But I think when he was here, he had Derrick Henry on the bench, man.
Yeah, that's right.
He had Deion Lewis out there, right? Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You got the king, a Hall of Famer on the bench. He just didn't know it yet. Okay. Now, that does not mean that means he's a bad coach. It could be a learning lesson. Like, man, I ain't gonna never do that again, right? What was I thinking? You know what I mean? Or unless Derrick Henry just didn't know the plays or something just crazy. So I think Matt LaFleur is an interesting candidate here. I absolutely think he will be very good for Cam Ward for sure. To your point, look at Malik Willis, man. They're going into the playoffs with Malik Willis as a starting quarterback, and they don't even have any concerns at all, right? Think when Malik Willis was here, we had concerns about him playing against the Carolina Panthers, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh, it's Malik Willis, right? You know what I'm saying? And so LaFleur has him playing out of his mind. He has Jordan Love, and Jordan Love and Cam has some similarities in their game. There's similarities there, right? And I really like LaFleur as the head coach here. I think I'd like for him to take a year off, honestly. I think he needs to recalibrate a little bit, because I did think he lost the locker room with the Packers and everything. And I think LaFleur could, just based on some things that have been said, kind of be, I don't know, a little off at times, a little a-hole, I guess sometimes, little, so, I don't know how that will rub off to the team. But you want to talk about offense? Oh, he'll have our offense moving. Green Bay's offense moves the football. They have receivers that they get the football out. So I would say LaFleur, I'm at a yes. But, man, we need a fire D coordinator out there, bro. We need a fire D coordinator out there. So I'm at a yes for Matt LaFleur. All right. So let's see what we got for LaFleur. Okay, Alex said I was in a heartbeat. He does. That's right. He does not have a contract. That is correct, team leader. That is facts. Stevie B says yes. Jay Burke says yes. LaFleur have Cam really balling. That's a yes. I agree. I think, okay. Oh, it's a definite yes for him. I'm happy for Malik. Hey, me too. We are as well. We're very happy for Malik Willis, man. We are, bro. We are, man. We are. Ball out, Malik Willis. Ball out in the playoffs, bro. Do your thing, bro. Yes, bring him back to Nashville. All right. So we are at a yes at Matt LaFleur. All right. The last coach. All right. So we brought up LaFleur on purpose because, again, he's not been fired yet. And we didn't want to talk about McDermott could be a so-so. LaFleur possibly could get fired. So there's one other coach that I want to discuss.
I know
and
who
sometimes some people, when I have my beard and a cap on, think I look like this guy. Mm-hmm. And that's Mike Tomlin. All right. So Mike Tomlin. All right. Jacques, do you want to start or I'll start? How you want to do, bro?
Man, go ahead and start it off. Kick us off, bro.
All right. Mike Tomlin. You want to talk about a winner? There's not a coach on this list that has won as many games as Mike Tomlin, right? This guy's never missed the playoffs. 21 years of coaching, never missed the playoffs. Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion, over the last 6 years have not had a lot of talent, especially on offense. They've had issues at quarterback. They've had issues at running back. They've had offensive line issues. But for some reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers find a way to make the playoffs. I don't give a damn who's out there, right? Now, I know some people might say, Mike Tomlin, when he had Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell, he did not win the Super Bowl. They made the Super Bowl, but they didn't win. And that was the only time they went to the Super Bowl. I think that's a check mark on his resume, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because you had the talent was unbelievable. But he did win a Super Bowl with young Ben Roethlisberger, Jerome Bettis, James Harrison, and Hines Ward, and those guys. He won the Super Bowl. That's huge for me. But he constantly think of the pressure with Pittsburgh being the Steelers coach, the pressure that you get. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Pittsburgh. Man, I've been to a Titans Steelers game years ago. There's so much pressure in Pittsburgh, and he overcomes that every year. It's hard to fire him. It's almost like we can't fire him. What are we firing him on, right? Because I think the firing will only come if you feel that you've had the offensive talent for them to win more. Man, look, they don't have a lot. They got a 41-year-old quarterback right now. DK Metcalf has been out the last 2 games for choking the guy, right? So the Pittsburgh Steelers have won 4 games in a row. They're in the playoffs. They are in the playoffs. And they are in a tough division in the AFC North. They made the playoffs. They're the only team that made the playoffs in that division. I'm at a hell yes for Mike Tomlin. If Mike Tomlin was fired today, I'd almost have him as my number 1 candidate because I think he'll be a good culture fit for the Titans. The Titans will rally around this guy. You got a quarterback. They had quarterbacks in Pittsburgh in years. You got a quarterback in Cam Ward. I think you get some OCs. Mike Tomlin's a defensive guy. He's a defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Minnesota Vikings. That's how he got to be the head coach for the Steelers. And when they won the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, he was a defensive coordinator. Mike Tomlin did his thing. Mike Tomlin is almost a shoe-in winner when he gets here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the first year, maybe not. But I guarantee you, they will win more games than they did over at least 6 games just on him being a coach. He knows how to out-coach. The only coach he ever had issues out-coaching was Bill Belichick. But then Bill Belichick might have cheated here and there or whatever. Who knows? But Bill Belichick was his only thorn in his side. Mike Tomlin, yes for me. What about you, Jacques?
So I'm in on Tomlin. Somebody said it. He might take a year off because of the simple fact that he's been coaching for 24 years, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
But he will bring a mentality to Tennessee that will literally take this thing from what we used to be with Vrabel to overnight. Because when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers team itself, they're a wild bunch, dog. They're a wild bunch. They are a wild bunch. And he does a very good job at handling players that have issues. But then when it's time to get you out the door, he will get you out the door. He does not play, right?
That's right.
Thing about Tomlin, to your point, that first year, one thing that Tomlin didn't really have to do, just like Harbaugh, is to build a team from scratch, right?
Yep.
You got to think of the situation that you will come into when you come to Tennessee. Are you willing to take the challenge and say, okay, hey, well, I have never really had, I can do it, but in my career, I went from Tampa Bay to the Steelers where they kind of had a built roster already, right? And they just kept building. They kept feeding. It's like a feeder program. They just kept feeding and kept feeding and kept feeding and kept feeding. Another thing that he does very well, I don't know if it's just him, but he drafts well. The Steelers have drafted well for 24 years. They have not had any real big fall off. So you will be getting that experience as well. You will be getting a winner mindset. So that's where I know Tomlin comes in that door. Amy's going to take a back seat and be like, okay, I'll shut up. Yeah. I'll shut up. Do your thing, Tomlin. The resume speaks for itself.
That's right.
The players will literally be like, oh, we got Mike Tomlin. Oh, man, what you want us to do next? To your point, it's the offensive coordinator. Can he get that right? And he's done it. He's been able to do it. He won with Mason Rudolph.
Facts. Man, that is the show right there, John. There's nothing else to be said on that. I mean,
he been won with Kenny Pickett.
Exactly. He has. Yes.
So it's a hell yes for me. The thing is, will he mentally be ready to, like John Harbaugh, you coming from here to here. You ain't got no break, bro.
That's right.
You ain't taking no break. I've been doing this for 24 years. I haven't really seen my kids grow up. I haven't seen my family. I barely see my family. So would he want to take a year off and say, okay, I'm gonna give it a year off? Da, 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 da. But if he gets fired, which if the Art Rooney and them do that, you stupid. But I understand you want to change. I would say hell yes, sign me up. Matter of fact, he'll be number one on my list tomorrow if that happens.
Gotcha. Like I would hire him that day.
Yes.
Mike Tomlin fired by Pittsburgh,
Yes.
hired by Tennessee same day. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Facts.
Cool. Okay. All right. So let's look at the comments for Mike Tomlin. Alex Mann says yes, absolutely. Now Mike gonna trade all of his picks for old people. Team leader said he ain't going nowhere. Steve B said I'm just joking. Yes, for Mike Tomlin. If he does get fired, he will take a year off like Sean Payton did. Okay, Mac, that's probably some truth to that. What's up, MBJW9? What's happening? Let's see. Give me a hell yes from Big Bad JS 7576. Bethany says yes, I'm in on him as well. And we have Titan South as a yes. So Mike Tomlin is a resounding yes. Okay. All right. So first of all, this was fun. I enjoyed this. This was great. Okay.
We haven't had a show like this in a while.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So let's look at the unanimous victors here. Then, Jacques, we got to choose. You choose one, I'll choose one, and we'll let the weekly family choose one. Now, I am going to exclude Mike Tomlin because he's already he's not fired yet. He's not available yet. Because I think that based on what you just said and what I said, I think we'd all be like, that's number one or whatever. I don't know what the weekly family might think differently. All right. So the unanimous decisions that we've had all yeses on are these coaches. The Baltimore Ravens former coach, John Harbaugh. The former Dallas Cowboy Green Bay Packer coach, Mike McCarthy. The current or former offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, Cliff Kingsbury. And I can't say we can't put LaFleur because he ain't fired. He ain't been fired. Or he might not even get fired. All right, so we have, and one more. Robert Saleh. Now he's still coaching, but he let it be known that he wants to be interviewed for a job. So we're going to put him on the list. He will be a head coach probably somewhere next year. All right, we got Robert Saleh, John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy, and Cliff Kingsbury. Jacques, your answer.
I gotta choose one of them, right?
Yep, choose one. I'm gonna put that in the comment section as well too. I'm gonna ask them who do they want.
Whoo, this is a hell of a decision, Hawk. And I'm basing this off of a couple of factors, man. The demands that they're wanting, their tenure, of course, and their development of Cam Ward. Those are my three criteria. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right now, my number one answer, and this is gonna sound crazy as hell what I'm about to say.
Yes, sir.
And I think he would fit right in, but he'll still have to bring in the OC, and it's really dependent on the OC. Not even OC. I'll take that back. I know who I'm going with, and I think I've been saying this for a while. I'm going Cliff Kingsbury, bro.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm going Cliff due to the fact that he's the quarterbacks that he's worked with, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And his resume on that. And I think when it comes to this coaching hire, a lot of it for me is the development of Cam Ward.
Yes, sir.
And how we can maximize his talent. And I know Cliff can do that. Not saying Mike can't do that because Mike McCarthy can too. But with Cliff, what you're getting is you're already getting an offensive coordinator and a head coach, right?
Yes, sir.
Then you turn around and you'll say, okay, hey, defensive coordinator. I already threw out my name that I was like, Raheem Morris, bring your ass to Tennessee because they're stuck, right? I don't have to go out and hire an offensive coordinator. I trust Cliff Kingsbury enough to say, hey, your offensive scheme, what you able to do with Jaden Daniels, mimic that shit. Whatever you was able to do with Patrick Mahomes, mimic that shit, right?
Yep.
When I look at that, that's what I'm factoring in. I was going to go with John Harbaugh. The problem with Harbaugh is Harbaugh has the pick of the litter. And do I think Tennessee is the top on his list? Probably not. right?
Okay. Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. The demands that he's asking, that means we got to get rid of Berganzi. He wants to bring in his own, and he wants control, right?
Yep.
Amy's not about control. That's the only problem. There's going to be an organization that's going to give him control. So for me, it's Cliff Kingsbury, man.
Okay. Okay.
What about you?
All right. Cool. Okay.
And my mind can change tomorrow, but I got an order that I have him in. But go ahead. Who you got?
Okay. Good deal. Okay. So Jacques has Cliff Kingsbury. I like the pick, man. Honestly, bro. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We all saying yes to it, regardless. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a great pick for sure. All right. So for me, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at a team in the Tennessee Titans who's had the worst record in the last 3 seasons in the NFL. 2 seasons in a row, we've won 3 football games. And, you know, and I think a big part of it, of course, is leadership and inconsistencies with leadership. There's been a lot of turnover in leadership. And we have not hired the right coaches, especially over the last year or two with Callahan and those guys. And I think right now, I'm looking for somebody that has had success, and not just little success, big success, and transition success. And I think, you know, even if you interview at a regular job and you look at the resume, you look at the job requirements, and they ask questions as far as, you know, what would you do if you didn't have this? And I think he can answer any of those questions very well. And this guy has also won a Super Bowl in his tenure, right? This guy has led rookie quarterbacks like Dak Prescott to go 13-3. Think what he could do with a second-year player, Cam Ward, right? For me, I'm going Mike McCarthy. And I think Mike McCarthy would not cause a lot of issues, to your point about, like, say, John Harbaugh and those guys. I think Mike McCarthy would understand. I think, again, he took a year or so off, kind of rested a little bit. He's probably rejuvenated. He absolutely knows how to run an offense. No question about that. His play calling is very good. I would like to have a strong defensive coordinator next, in the team as well, to sort of help that. I want his focus on the offense. Get Cam Ward, get your offense, get them together, develop, run the right plays. I think Mike McCarthy could take us here to there offensively for sure. I like all these coaches that are listed here. You and I both, and also the Weekly family put a yes on all these 4. But my favorite of the 4, I like Mike McCarthy.
Now, let me ask you, I'm going to hit you with a follow-up question. Realistically, out of the 4 of these coaches, who do you think, and there's 2 coaches on here that I know will have the pick of the litter, McCarthy and Harbaugh. And think about the teams that we're going to be bidding against. The Ravens' job is the most attractive job right now. If Mike Tomlin gets fired, Steelers' job, that's another attractive job, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You got the Giants, and I know you did a show on this as well. Out of this list, who do you think are the 2 most realistic options for the Titans?
I'm going to say Cliff Kingsbury. I think that's the most realistic of this, and I think next would be Robert Saleh. Those 2. But I'm going to say Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's the most realistic of if there was a coach that I feel from an option standpoint, where I think he can't just be walking around, blah, 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 blah. Same with Saleh, because these are coordinators, right? These are Harbaugh, Super Bowl winner, McCarthy, Super Bowl winner. So they have the pick of the litter. Harbaugh has more pick of the litter than McCarthy. Then Tomlin gets in there. Tomlin has the top pick of the litter, right? He is wherever he wants to do, honestly. So I'm going to say Cliff Kingsbury. What about you?
Same. Cliff Kingsbury and Robert Saleh, for sure. Okay. They are going to have the pick of the lid. And even with Cliff, there's another thing. They got a second. All 4 of these coaches will have a second tenure as head coaches, right? Yeah. And something that there's a pattern that I'm seeing that the Weekly family, me and you, won't experience. They bring experience, and they can get a culture built super fast.
That's right, brother. That's right.
And the thing is, it's like, man, we really are going to get some stiff competition. Yeah. But out of the 2, it's Robert Saleh and Cliff Kingsbury, because they don't have a lot of ammo, right? Yeah, they don't have a lot of ammo. They really don't, right? Now, again, it's like, hey, what do you want to do? And out of the teams, now you in a bid war with Lamar Jackson. You're like, damn, okay, a former MVP. Like, shit.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. So let's see what the Weekly family has as far as their favorite All right, so we got Robert Saleh. All right, so I'm gonna put these, I'm gonna jot these down. Robert Saleh. We have Jacques is an option. Jacques. Bethany says, hey, since you're not an option, she'll pick Saleh. Okay. All right. That's two for Saleh. All right. All right. Big Bad JS has Mike McCarthy. All right. We got Robert Saleh or Mike McDaniel, so we're going to go Saleh. Kenya, what's happening? All right. We got another Saleh. Woo, woo, Jacques. Okay. Let's see. They say Cliff Kingsbury is being interviewed by the Ravens. Interesting. And Cliff Kingsbury gets to stay in the Maryland area, right? From DC to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Harbaugh. We got Ocho Man with Harbaugh. Okay, that's one.
Ocho Man, do you know his demands that he's asking?
I'll let him know if he doesn't. $20 million a year, $10 million for his staff budget, and full control of the roster. That comes with Harbaugh.
Yep.
All right.
Do you think Amy will give him that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. He can walk in there and ask that. And from a negotiation, go high, right? Go high as you can. And all you can do is go down from that, right? We'll see. We'll see. Andre Bunn said McCarthy. Okay. Team leader says McCarthy. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So right now, we got Robert Saleh at 4. We got McCarthy at 3 and Harbaugh at 1. Okay. So the Weekly family saying Robert Saleh. Okay. So I would think
he's one of my favorites too. Like
I got you, man.
I think I've told you that he is one of my favorites. You can't, let me say this. Any of the 4 of those coaches, you can't go wrong.
Right. Yep. So okay, cool. Okay. All right. Well, like you said, hey, at the end of the day, what it looks like, y'all, we need a coach. We need a good coach, whether it be offense or defense, right? Kingsbury, McCarthy are offensive guys. Robert Saleh is a defensive guy or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, hopefully, we get one of these guys, man. I'd be floored if we got one of these guys, man. So yeah. So, well, listen. First of all, y'all, I had a ball. This was fun. This is very interactive. We appreciate everybody's participation. We think we got pretty much everybody at least once or twice got your comment on here or whatever. When you participate, we'll post you on here. If you hit the super chat, you'd absolutely going on the screen for sure. Shout out to Rico B as well too, man. You know what I'm saying? Bleacher Report, Buffalo Fanatics on YouTube. Shout out to him. Listen, if you have not followed us, follow us right now. Tennessee Titans Weekly. Follow us. Download the app. Download Bleacher Report. Follow the Tennessee Titans. You'll see our information on there. You'll see our shows. We have daily shows on there as well. We're on Apple, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. We're everywhere, y'all. I know we haven't done a live show in a while, and we'll do some more. But I'm going to tell y'all something. We have so much content, y'all. We got plenty of content. Check us out. We're out there. We got a super chat, y'all. Yep. Team leader in the building once again. What's happening? Hey, we enjoyed it as well, man. Hey, team leader. Do-do-do-do. Boom. Team leader in the building. Hey, man, we appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. And real quick, I know we about to get out of here, but Ocho Man, I know they're going to draft somebody before the draft. So just stay tuned. Stay locked in. They're doing their homework. I appreciate them taking their time and doing their homework instead of rushing the process. Ooh. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Do your homework. You got the pick of the litter.
Yep.
Figure it out. Let's get this thing. And as Hawk says, man, when y'all check out that content, like, subscribe, share the content to your auntie, your uncle, your dog, your cat, your fish, your bag. Share it to everybody so we can get out there, man. And like he said, we're going to do it. We're going to, a lot more live chop-ups are coming. So y'all just stay tuned. I know y'all miss us. We miss y'all, man. So, Hawk, as I say every show, man, take us home. And we, the family, appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm going to tell you a great point, Jacques, you just made. Like, the Titans, be patient. Allow the playoffs to play itself out, right? You never know who might be ready for it, right? You know what I mean? Be patient. We'll see. We'll see what's up. So, all right, folks, we hope you have a great weekend. Happy 2026 to y'all if you've not heard us say that. And as we always say around here, folks, facts.
No paper.